fear that the overconsumption of America is literally what's keeping us from being free.
Americans do have an overconsumption problem, but that's not because there are so many influencers, so many TikTok ads.
You know, America has an overconsumption problem when you have people fighting over, grown adults, by the way, fighting over a damn teddy bear cup.
The hard truth a lot of young girls are not willing to accept is that constantly buying yourself things that you cannot afford, little drinks, makeup, matching sets, whatever it is.
You know, America has an overconsumption problem when you have people fighting over, grown adults, by the way, fighting over a damn teddy bear cup. That's probably going to be on Temu and Shein within the next few months. I saw so many of them on Amazon, just without the label. Find someone with a Cricut and they can print out a sticker for you and just put it on the damn cup. And there you go, you have your own Starbucks cup. It's not that cute. It doesn't fit in the cup holder. There are people who don't know when their next paycheck is coming in. There are people that don't know where they're going to get their next meal from, where they're going to feed their kids from, and y'all are worried about a damn cup. It's over-consumerism, greed. I saw a video of someone with 4 and 5, I think it was like 5 cups on a counter or something, and she was going to buy them all. Leave some for the people behind you. So many other ways you can use your time. I saw someone on here show up outside of Target at 2 a.m. Starbucks opens at 4:30. Your priorities are so fucked. Those of y'all that are mad at the employees for taking the cup, that's the perks of working at Starbucks. I think the employees should be the ones to get the cup first before the customer. And the resellers selling those damn cups for $300, $400, the epitome of greed.
As someone who has lived in both Nigeria and America, I will say Americans have an overconsumption problem, because also I have lived in other people's houses, like family friends and like other friends, and also furnished finders, like travel nursing and whatnot. But I've noticed that they will go grocery shopping and all their food it will never finish, and they don't even have to go grocery shopping for their food not to finish, but their food in the fridge never finish. It always looks like it's the same amount of things in the fridge. But when I go grocery shopping, like, the food finishes. Like, you would know when I need to go buy groceries, because everything will finish. And theirs just doesn't finish. It just seems like they're just overpiling, or they're either just eating out a lot too. Like, a lot of things in the fridge and the freezer that are just not being used. They're just there for months and months and months.
There is so much overconsumption. There's so much going to the landfills, items that are in perfectly great condition. I feel like America is the absolute worst when it comes to wasting, like wasting everything, wasting food, wasting products, wasting items and ingredients and materials. So let's do our best to go ahead and reduce, reuse, and recycle. Hello. I tend to follow the mindset of, well, I want it new. I want to get new shit, right? Like, I don't want stuff that people have already used. But girl, if you need a household appliance or something like that, a new one is going to operate the same exact way as a used one. Now, obviously, take this with a grain of salt, use your brain cells, and figure out exactly what is worth thrifting versus buying new. But I'm talking like kitchen items such as pots and pans, glassware, home decor like frames and vases, clothing like denim. A lot of thrift store denim are super thick and durable versus fast fashion type denim, which does not last you nearly as long. Books and children clothing, and so much more. Follow the golden rules of thrifting. Aim for natural materials such as wood, glass, metal, and avoid synthetic materials and plastic. When you're checking clothes, make sure you're looking at the seams, buttons, zippers, all of those little things that you can easily miss inside the store. It will cost more to fix it than what it's actually worth. Follow me for more budget saving hacks, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
You know what I want to talk about? We as Americans are soft as fuck. These companies are having a field day with us because they're increasing prices by the fucking day. Every time you look up, it's a surcharge for this. Gas prices going up, groceries going up. Oh, flights are going up now. No more free check bags. Check bag prices have increased $10. Now you need a subscription for your Gmail account. Now you need subscriptions for card features that same car that you've been driving. Now you need to pay fucking features for it. We are losing as a society. We're not fighting for anything. I don't know if it's because Americans are distracted by dumb shit, But like these companies are really having a field day, and we just going for it.
Americans do have an overconsumption problem, but that's not because there are so many influencers, so many TikTok ads. Americans have an overconsumption problem because Americans are unfulfilled. USA intentionally keep Americans unfulfilled because unfulfilled people have this innate impulse to seek fulfillment. And that movement is what they can harvest as overconsumption. Anything that is happy and joyful and satisfying are ripped away from you. Gentrification removes your community, and all this social media has replaced those catch-up coffees, parasocial relationships instead of real connection, hot takes and anger and finger pointing instead of considerate conversation that can actually move you towards liberation. Chocolate bars that taste like wax and meat and fruits and vegetables, they taste completely watered down. You are gushing over music from your favorite musician that came through streaming and headset. We thought CD and boombox was offensive. All of the quality, all the fulfillment of life has been ripped away from you. You're deprived. Do you know how often I hear people going to spend vacation in Japan and they leave saying, oh, I'm going to gorge on so much food, come back saying, oh my God, I didn't gorge on any food. I didn't just have the impulse to go looking for any more food because they were satiated, because food did what it's supposed to. People are spending money buying things that look completely trivial, even though they can't afford rent. Not because that person is reckless, not because that person has been taken by TikTok ads. People might call it compulsion or addiction, and all that may be true and all that may be valid. And also, sometimes the dream of feeling fulfilled is worth risking rent for. And even those discourses themselves, right? People are jumping into these discourses and criticizing people without considering their humanity, their deep hunger, because that gives them a sense of belonging. They're looking for something. They're shopping for something by being in that discourse itself. And this is a conversation that's been going on for at least 50, 60 years. You may have come across parts of this conversation through the quote unquote weight loss industry. They create anxiety so that they can commodify, or the conversation around the disenfranchised young men and teenage boys being the target of right-wing recruitment. They're creating the experience of, or the illusion of disenfranchisement so that they will be looking to belong somewhere. But instead of respecting decades of people that have come before who risked their lives to contribute to this conversation, didn't even look it up. And now we completely normalize these cookie cutter responses to such significant nuanced conversations. We talk about overconsumption and people are like, it's the TikTok ads and influencers. Or we talk about the disenfranchised young men and teenage boys being a target of right-wing pipeline, and people say, yeah, they just need to listen to marginalized people. That's consumption. That moment they feel like they have the answer, they feel in control, they're consuming that moment. Discourse itself is replicating what it's criticizing, or worse, cementing that impact, participating in history erasure and dismantling of the liberation movement.
I think we really need to talk about something here in the US, and that something is overconsumption. I was scrolling on TikTok the other day, over consuming social media, honestly, and I saw an individual talk about Ralph Lauren Christmas. Had no idea what that was, so I scrolled past it, and the next video I landed on was Ralph Lauren Christmas decor, and it was essentially this person talking about how it was so hard for her to find these deep reds and deep green items to fit on theme. That is literally Christmas. That has always been Christmas, and that always will be Christmas. That it genuinely scares me how much we are consuming just to stay on trend. I feel like we are buying things to post on social media to be trendy, and that scares me so much. I am at a point where I walk into stores like Marshall's or Home Goods or TJ Maxx, stores that I used to love shopping in, stores that used to be the go-to for buying like higher end brands at a discounted price, and now it's just become a factory of items that you buy to stay on trend, and then it goes into a landfill and it becomes waste 3 weeks later because it's not in season or trendy anymore. I think it really has come to a point where you have to look in the mirror and look inside and say, like, do I really need this stuff? Like, when you look at your closet or you look at your home, like, Is this stuff bringing me joy? Overconsumption is going to kill us.
I'm seeing the wonderful sentiment of, unfortunately, budgeting isn't an option. I just need to make more money resurface again. And I just want to tell you that, like, if you cannot budget $50,000, not because you live in an area or you're in a situation where the $50,000 just like impossibly will not cover your bare necessities, but because you do not budget and you cannot budget and you refuse to budget, then once you double that income or even triple that income or quadruple that income, you're still not going to have enough money. You're not going to have enough money because if it's a spending problem, the spending problem will expand to fill the space that you give it. Like, it's a common thing for people who make six figures or, you know, multiple six figures to be like, I am living paycheck to paycheck. Like, that's a situation that happens and is not like, I wouldn't say it's like 90% of people who make a ton of money, but it's a notable chunk of people who make a lot of money. Enough that, like, when you read a book about finances, they always talk about it. They're like, hey, lots of people make six figures, make multiple six figures, and are still like one problem away from total financial destruction. So what you should be aiming for is enough money to pay someone else to manage your money and keep it away from you so that you only have access to exactly what you can spend. So that's what you should aim for.
With how expensive everything is, I know we talk about it, but genuinely, I cannot fathom how the fuck anybody is making it right now. Thinking, oh my God, we're drowning. We are very clearly in a quiet recession. And then I'll walk into a TJ Maxx at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, and I'm like, oh, no, never mind. Everybody's here. What recession? There's a line wrapped around the door. We are thriving as a country. Or I'll see like 50 grown women in line at Five Below, like waiting to buy something at 6 in the morning. They're all just lined up because they don't have jobs. And I'm like, it's just me then. Everyone else seems to be.
The hard truth a lot of young girls are not willing to accept is that constantly buying yourself things that you cannot afford, little drinks, makeup, matching sets, whatever it is, it's not treating yourself. It's financial illiteracy. And until you break this habit, you're never going to be financially free. Overconsumption and capitalism has messed with women's brains so much that they think just by existing, they deserve to keep buying themselves things they can't afford. You're not just a girl. You're a grown woman who's setting herself up for financial instability because you're unwilling to acknowledge your bad habit. I just had a video blow up saying that you're never going to make more money if you blow all the money you make now on a minuscule level. And you'd think that this is such basic financial literacy that everybody would agree, but there are people in the comments fighting tooth and nail over the latter. Oh, well, just because I'm broke doesn't mean I don't deserve nice things. It's not a matter of what you do or don't deserve. It's a matter of whether or not you want to be broke for life because you keep enabling your bad money habit. And I said this in the last video too, it's not about the money, it's about the way you perceive your money. You're stupid with it if you're negligent, if you just keep throwing all away on things that don't matter, you're never going to be able to handle more. And I promise you guys, I'm not just saying this, I'm saying this as someone who has made hundreds of thousands of dollars online since I was 20 years old. I understand money and I understand how important your relationship with money is if you're someone who ever wants to achieve a better life for yourself. First of all, stop living above your means. And second of all, the material items don't make your life any better. They give you something called instant gratification, and that's why in 2 weeks time you want to buy yourself another thing to treat yourself. It's not long lasting, it's not fulfilling. This mentality is doing nothing but making it so much harder for you to ever become financially free. I promise you, no matter how much you think this is completely uncorrelated, the way you're treating the little bit of money that you're making right now is setting the foundation for how you're going to treat any money that you make in the future. And if you're treating it negligently, why would you ever be trusted to have more money?
I fear that the overconsumption of America is literally what's keeping us from being free. It's literally what's keeping us from actually fighting for the things that we actually need. Because to hear that there are grown-ass adults standing in line for 2 hours for a stupid Starbucks cup to an organization that wasn't too long ago that was getting canceled for sending money to a certain country to take out another country. In order for Americans to actually fight for the things that we really need, like healthcare for everyone, you have to boycott and release the little things that make you feel good. Because these corporations are in bed with the government and working together. So when you stand in line for 2 hours for a stupid cup, you're letting them know, oh, they're not really serious. They're not serious. And I feel like a lot of Americans will never truly be serious in knowing how to fight for your rights, in knowing how to fight for the things that people need. Because we don't want to give up our little things that make us feel comfortable, our little coffee, our little comfortable things, our little Amazon, all these little things that we don't need. We don't want to give that up. A lot of us rather suffer than to give up those little things. The only way for us to actually have, again, what we need, a little Starbucks cup, you don't need that. You have to go against these corporations. You have to start buying from them. You have to stop consuming anything that they put out. Telling them no, that takes money from their pockets. And you know what that does? They're like, oh shit, that is taking money from our pockets. So what can we do to give things to people so we can get money from them? And if we say, well, we need this, this, and this, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, we can give you that. So they can get their money back. They're gonna talk to their people in high places, in government, and those who make the rules and who pass laws to say, this is what the people want. You gotta pass this, so then that way our customers can come back so we can get our money back. But I truly, truly fear that when it comes to the real revolution, Americans are not going to get that because Americans are just too obsessed and addicted to spending. All right. And I'm American, and I'm also holding myself accountable. There are things that I could easily give up, but I want everybody else to, we all do it together. And one thing I have been very intentional about not over consuming. I'm not freaking standing for 2 hours for a stupid Starbucks cup. Y'all, that's crazy. That's insane.